My dad mowed my arm. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm Jake, and there's been a huge change in my life lately that I want to tell you about. I was an absolutely normal kid. My life was no different from any other guy. Then something bad happened to me. I thought that my life was over. I lost nearly all of my right arm in an absolutely absurd way. My dad was mowing the grass. I was passing by and stumbled over something and fell right under the lawn mower as it was passing by. I don't remember much because I was in shock and pain. There was a lot of screaming. I'm not sure if it was mine or my dad's. There was lots of dark red blood like in a splatter movie. Then darkness came. I woke up in the hospital still in lots of pain, but this time it was bearable. I saw my parents sitting by my side, mom crying and dad super pale like he had seen a ghost. That is when I found out that my arm had literally been shredded and the doctors didn't manage to save it. I didn't realize at the time what it brought to me and was just glad to be alive. The understanding came a bit later as they kept me in the hospital. I understood that I could literally do nothing as I am a right-hander and I was very weak. I didn't manage to coordinate with my left hand, but soon doc said it was normal and that I would soon adapt, especially if I followed the adaptation program. She also said that after some time I would get a prosthetic arm that would make me look normal. I started to train at the hospital and continued at home. Of course, I was away from school for some time and obviously, I had to forget about sports and guitar playing. The worst thing was that I didn't adapt after all. I couldn't do anything with my left arm, write, dress or even eat with a spoon. I was trying my best, but I felt like an ultimate creep. As the situation didn't improve, I started falling into a black depression, just gave up at some time and was just sitting in my room all day long watching TV. My parents had to talk to my doc and she said that I need to go back to school to get some social life. I couldn't get my fake arm though it was too early. I was afraid to go back to my friend's handicap, who knows how they take it. It was alright after all, even though I couldn't do all the same things we used to do together. Also, due to the fact that my left hand was still useless, I needed to ask for their help all the time. This was pathetic. Even worse was the fact that during my absence a new girl came to school that I really liked. When I saw her I tried to ask her out. She just looked at me with sympathy and answered, "You know Jake, I think it's not the case, well you understand." And just left me standing there like a complete idiot. It didn't make me feel much better and all in all, it was a super down moment of my life. I was just so passively trying not to get accustomed to my new condition. Also, the time came for a prosthetic arm to be installed, but I was still unable to be operational using my left hand. It was of little comfort. I was reading about those bionic arms. It's a natural substitute for missing an arm with all of its movements. One of these would be a perfect solution in my case, but my family isn't very rich and if I tried very hard I wouldn't be able to buy it for many years. So this was just a dream and I put it off. I will have to adapt to what I have now, at least I'm alive. I repeated a couple of days before I was supposed to order my fake arm. I came home from school and found a surprise party for me. With all my relatives, friends, and even neighbors. I didn't understand a thing. My B-day was in 4 months. When they explained to me I just sat down astonished and couldn't say a word. I couldn't believe it. My family raised the money from everyone who knew me. And I would be getting a new bionic arm. I will become a cyborg for God's sake. That day was definitely the happiest in my life. I couldn't stop thinking about God, the universe, or whoever else for all of those people who surround me. When I came to school with my new bionic arm I became a star. At once I had already chained myself pretty well. And was able to do the finest movements. I was surrounded by my schoolmates who were just asking me to show them how it works. Each of them had donated their pocket money to make me happy. I got a new nickname that was the Terminator, cool. Then came that girl that I had liked so much, who asked me if your proposal was still valid. Would you like to go out and show me how this thing works? I'm a proud person and that is why my answer was I think that's not the case. Well, you understand now. There is no sense to give up as long as you have people around you who wish you happiness. To those who like you only.